Now, up until this year, the financial industry in Africa was, ladies and gentlemen, the most dynamic in the world. But as we have heard, the current realities have really presented challenges. And yet, they also present our speakers, Sandra Sansier Sultan, who is a senior partner at McKinsey, and Francois Geur de la Gerancourt, partner at McKinsey. I hand over to you, Sandra, and Francois. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie, and good morning to all. Francois and I fees for person to person, and regulators in countries such as Morocco vastly simplify the process for wallet opening and merchant onboarding. We see across the continent on a number of parameters.
The Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Minister, great to have you with us. You've heard from all the different stakeholders, their experiences. And just looking at Ethiopian growth in 2020, which is set at 2% against around 10% in the last decade, what do you expect when you look at the financial sector in terms of recovery? What would you like to see?
Thank you. Containment measures we took were unique in that they avoided complete lockdown approach. We were very careful. We didn't shut down a lot of things. We were very selective in educating, in the health services as well. So only certain sectors which can contribute for the expansion of the pandemic were partially closed, while most part of the economy has continued to work. Despite all this, the economy witnessed a growth of 6.1% in 2019-20, which is a very strong positive growth. And in 2021, we still expect to show a positive growth of about 8% within the context of the comprehensive economic reform we are embarking on. Ethiopia is implementing a homegrown economic reform program which focuses on sustaining growth and correcting the macroeconomic imbalances, and it has multiple components which include reforms to the financial sector. Specifically, modernization of the financial sector includes the preparations to establish the capital market and the strengthening of the treasury bill market, as well as modernizing the monetary policy framework, which we are working together with IMF. We are under IMF program, and we have also a strong program with World Bank. Moreover, we have also worked to strengthen Commercial Bank of Ethiopia's balance sheet, which has more than 60% of market share in the banking sector. So improvement is also significantly contributing to this. The National Bank of Ethiopia is also providing liquidity support to the private banks to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 on the performance of banks. They have been lending for the private companies through lending to the private banks to withstand the impact of COVID-19. We have also made bold measures to eradicate the 27 NBE bill requirement. Every commercial bank borrowing was required to buy 27% NBE bill, treasury bill, which is used to finance. The economy is performing well, and the implementations of the reform is being strengthened. We expect the financial sector performance will show certain and a strong growth in 2021. My expectation from the financial sector, and importantly for the financial sector, are that the sector remains resilient and that we are able to continue with our reform. So inclusive finance and banking sector, together with the digital economy and opening up of the telecom sector, will further improve this reach. Ethiopia's banks have played a pivotal role over the past decade in broadening financial access, increasing national savings, and financing major public and private projects. So we are careful on the new project. We're already financing ongoing projects, and we are rebalancing the financing from more massive public-led to more of private sector enabling of development financing. In our current environment, the banking sector shows no sign of slowing growth, and both deposits and loans have largely continued along with their pre-COVID trajectories. We have not seen a major spike in non-performing loans, and maintain adequate provision levels and a strong growth in new lending. Thank you. If anything, the COVID crisis has assured us is that we cannot wait any longer for these necessary reforms. It emboldens us to move on this reform commitment. Ethiopia is strongly committed to reforming its telecommunication sector and the financial sector modernization. This is part of our 10 years perspective plan and our digital strategy and the core aspect of the homegrown broader economic reform program. To liberalize the telecom sector, we have decided to issue 2 new telecom licenses and also to provide 40% of Ethio Telecom, which was a government monopoly. It will not be anymore after a few months. So this reform is progressing very well. We are on the process of receiving offers from the globally known telecom operators. We will soon finish the evaluation and award accordingly, particularly for the 2 licenses. By opening up our market to additional telecom operators, new technology and a stronger network will improve the connectivity and access for economic transformation and maximize opportunities presented by the digital economy. So we are on track. We are in the bid process. We are still finalizing and make the award. And then the Ethiopian market are open to these telecom companies. So this will bring significant boost for the digital economy and for the financial sector industry as well. And it will be also a bigger source of growth to complement already existing source of growth, and that will diversify the source of growth. And that is the main objective of the homegrown economic reform, which is diversifying source of growth and make sure that private sector plays significant role. Government should continue to have the enabling role on this. With the expansion of the service, we aim to address digital gaps in remote and hard-to-reach areas as well. Also, COVID has affected global economy. It has not affected our telecom liberalization process. We are on track and we will continue in that one. In fact, we have learned from this crisis that digital economic development and liberalization of the telecom sector is very key. In terms of financial sector liberalization, we are contextual in this. We see through the lens of the comprehensive reform, and there are various steps that has to be taken to consolidate our reform. But I think now we are very pragmatic and open-minded on even on financial sector. So, but this will be coming down the line after we consolidate other measures of the economic reform. So definitely down the line, we have also openness to this as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.